the AD trade. LA actually called the Pelicans back to try to rework the deal. Lakers GM Rob Pelinka could have created about $32 million in cap space for a max player if he'd negotiated that the deal close on July 30th. As it stands, though, the Lakers have just over $23 million in cap space. We are joined by Bleacher Report senior writer Ric Bucher. Rick, how much better can the Lakers get this summer given the financial situation?
Much better.
Much.
What the Toronto Raptors demonstrates, and by the way, can we not say they didn't prioritize it? They miscalculated. They didn't do the math. That's what happened. Not that somehow we didn't put the right emphasis on it.
On the cap.
They screwed up, right?
Right.
Their calculator did not work.
Right.
That said, the Toronto Raptors demonstrated to us that this model of a big three or a top-heavy team is not necessarily the model for winning a championship. It's not a necessary one, let's put it that way. Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors demonstrated that.
But it has some unforeseen circumstances, Rick. Now, come on now. We think that the champ, with KD not injured and Clay healthy, do we believe Toronto is the champs? And then that model is out the window.
Okay, but would you say that you had the Philadelphia 76ers as a top-heavy team in terms of superstardom?
If Embiid is not sick and hurt, Philly's going to win that series.
Okay, so I'm not so sure about that.
Okay.
Because here's the thing that we've seen with the way the game is played. Injuries and guys breaking down is now part of
that equation.
The game. It's part of the equation. So your depth and versatility, honestly, even with the Warriors, as much as we think about them being superstar heavy, what has made them a dynasty is the fact that they had depth and versatility, and that those pieces, those top pieces, Steph Curry is not your traditional superstar. Draymond Green, Klay Thompson wouldn't be as good elsewhere. Those pieces fit and they supported each other, but ultimately it was the Andre Iguodala's and the Sean Livingstons when he could still play. That's what made them distinctive. The Lakers have the opportunity to set up the same thing. Yes, they don't have enough for another max player, but they have enough to go pick off guys that are quality role players elsewhere. And Al Farouq Amino, for example. You're looking at teams that are capped out, that have quality players that maybe you can give them a little bit more money that's a little too rich for that other team. And now you're not only taking a piece away from them, but you're giving yourself depth and versatility. Bottom line is, Lakers have enough star power now. It's a matter of, can you shrewdly pick up the veterans who have already made their money, the Trevor Arizas, the DeMarre Carrolls, the guys who maybe they'll just come along to try to win a ring, and then find those mid-range guys that are making $6-7 million. If I offer them 10 or 11, is that going to be enough to join the band? That, to me, is how they put together something that is going to be even better than they are right now.
Yeah, J.J. Redick, Terrence Moore.
You can put that to bed. J.J. Redick is so settled in with his family, and
he was settled in L.A.
They allow him to commute from Brooklyn to Philadelphia. They love him, and he loves him. His part in the chemistry of that locker room, I don't see any way he's going to upend his.
Next.
You know what, Skip Bayless?
Who's next on your list?
I like Terrence Ross, Pat Beverly.
You can have him.
Jeremy Lamb, Seth Curry. You know,
Marcus Smart.
But anyway, here's the thing. You can say, well, we didn't prioritize or we miscalculated. We still got the house. We might have overpaid for it, but guess what? We still living in the house. We have Anthony Davis, and there is not another tandem that will start the 2019 NBA season that's better than what we have, Ric Bucher. Okay. Can you say that?
It's a rental, not a purchase, though. This is what scares me. They better get it done this year or next year.
We get it done.
After that,
both.
David Griffin is now the GM of both the New Orleans Pelicans and the Los Angeles Lakers because he controls the future of the Los Angeles Lakers draft-wise.
All we got to do is win the title. And we don't care about them draft picks that they gave up. Do you remember who Kareem was traded for? To Milwaukee? No, you don't, because he won titles with the Lakers. Do you remember that? Of course you don't.
Wasn't it Junior Bridgman?
I was going to say, that's a good call.
Junior Bridgman is one of the biggest businessmen.
He is.
I think he owns almost 200 Wendy's and a lot of other.
He does.
Yeah. So he did well for himself outside of that.
So he's a Hall of Famer off the floor.
He is.
Yeah.
I guess we should have went with that because he did real well. But look, they have Anthony Davis. You can put pieces around. If we can get Kawhi, you're going to luxury tax for Kawhi. You might not have, you got $23 million. If Kawhi needs 35, whatever he needs, you pay it, you go into luxury tax. Because you are sure, you're guaranteed
This is the one issue with Kawhi and the possibility. I know that the Lakers think that they have a strong shot at getting him. I did a piece at the beginning of the year, the yin and yang of playing with LeBron. And I talked to Kawhi about that. And he said, I don't want to play with LeBron. I want to compete against LeBron. He's beaten me in the finals once. I've beaten him in the finals once. That's sort of the way
No, take that back. You didn't beat him. You were the fourth option. Stop saying you beat. You ain't no you. The Spurs beat. The Spurs.
Kawhi now you're coming around to my side of the table.
But he did. He did win the finals.
He was the finals MVP.
He was.
So
I don't know how, but he was.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know how.
But you know what? You know what? I'm going to take the Fred VanVleet approach.
Okay.
Kawhi, you can come join us, or we gonna kick your ass when you go somewhere else. The choice is yours, Kawhi. I'm giving you the opportunity to stay away from these headaches because we're gonna give a bunch of people headaches, mainly you.
Interesting. So back to your first point. This is bizarre to me and ironic that Rob Pelinka committed what to me is a fireable offense. He just completely miscalculated. It's so bad that it's laughably bad. They're back to laughingstock Lakers. You screwed up everything. You could have done 1,000 things to maximize your cap space, and maybe you would have a shot at number 2.
Right.
But you didn't, and you didn't even address that there's a $4 million trade kicker on AD's contract that you could have dispensed with if you say, hey, AD, think about this, but you got to get it all. You got to clear those decks to start with.
Have it buttoned up.
You can't do it post-trade after you've announced the trade.
Yep.
So, but to your point, I'm going to give you this one. You still got the house.
Yep.
You still bought the house. It's got all kinds of flaws in it. And I don't know about the backyard because you don't have any grass in the backyard right now.
There's no flaws in the house, Skip. It's just a problem with we got to make up the mortgage. We miscalculated the bonus that we were going to get.
All right. Now, I got to make one quick point about the Raptors because they weren't a bunch of spare parts. Gasol was a former Defensive Player of the Year, and that was not a good move. That was a great move at the trade deadline. That made them what they were. Not that number 2 wasn't great, but Siakam was already on the verge of stardom. He's going to be probably the most improved player in the league by vote this year.
Sure.
And Kyle Lowry, he was a 5-time All-Star. He's not a spare part. And he came up big a couple of times in the finals.
Fred VanVleet.
Okay? Fred VanVleet was already established as their closer. He already was last year. Their coach was Coach of the Year and got fired last year because they were a good team, right?
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's the one big hole in this argument that the Lakers are on their way. And trust me, I've just talked to GMs over the last couple of days, and they're all jumping on the wagon. They're going to be Western Conference champions.
Western Conference champion. You heard that, Skip? You want a T-shirt right now?
But here's the issue. You have LeBron James coming off a significant injury for the first time.
Yep.
We know Anthony Davis is injury prone.
He is.
You can't have any of that. Those guys have to be solid all year round.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Then if you're going to go and get the Trevor Arizas and the 30-something guys that have the experience and the basketball IQ to play with LeBron, you got to make sure that you find a way to keep them healthy. And then with this whole bouillabaisse, you need Frank Vogel to be able to keep everybody on the same page and get LeBron James to allow you to coach this team. And that is the big question that I have because...
And meanwhile, quickly, looking over his shoulder is Jason Kidd and Lionel Hollins, 2 former head coaches who are probably better than Frank Vogel. I don't know.
And you could have just had Ty Lue and everything.
Okay, you could have.
Lakers have the opportunity. They gave themselves a shot where they didn't have one before. But there are still at least a half a dozen hurdles that made me say, not so fast.
I'm not so fast, Shannon. I got to see what they can pull together here.
I happen to be a great hurdler, so we good.
Well,
we're going to clear them easy.
If Rob Pelinka had played the cards as any GM would have played them, you could have number 2 on your team.
Skip, we miscalculated.
Okay, all right.
Well, a lot of these questions will get answered in free agency, which we're going to talk about next. Rick, we hope you'll hang with us for one more segment as we get into that. Free agency less